So let's talk about reactivity and the different ways that you can handle / manage the situation. There's kind of two areas. There's two areas when it comes to training. One area is managing the behavior, so keeping everyone safe, keeping your dog safe, knowing how to handle things when you're not prepared to do the training. The other side is training. So management would be using a muzzle. Training would be teaching your dog that they don't need to bite in the first place, right? Quick Oakley break. Now, when it comes to training reactivity, we want to be thinking about two sides of training. The first side is obedience. So it's kind of like, hey, I know you want to bark at that dog, or I know you want to bark at that cat and chase it, but you're not allowed to right now because you're in a heel, and heel means right beside me. So obedience is an awesome and usually the most common way that trainers will handle the situation, because in obedience, it's simply about saying, I don't care how you feel about that, if you don't want to or not, you have to. And there's a huge place for obedience because we have dogs living in a person-centered world. So obedience is what saves your dog from being hit by a car, even though they want to chase the ball that just went across the road. Obedience is you say stop and they stop. Now, the other side of reactivity training that a lot of people are quite common with or familiar with is the side of changing how your dog feels about things. Sometimes these overlap, but changing how your dog feels about things is, okay, I see that you find that other dog to make you feel fearful or to make you feel like you want to chase it and make you feel like you're entering into your prey drive mentality. Let's help you feel not so nervous, hyperactive, or whatever the case is towards that thing. So a really common example of this would be people will use food and a clicker maybe, and they'll, every time the dog looks at the trigger, like the dog, so every time your dog looks at a cat, you wait for the dog to look back at you, and then you click and you give them a piece of food. A lot of people have done that. Now, if you do one, not the other, you're only doing half the puzzle, and it can take you twice as long to get to where you want to get to. So if you're going to train your dog to be not reactive, I want you to have an excellent level of obedience control with your dog, which is non-negotiable. Even if you don't want to, you have to. And then I also want you to consider, why is my dog reacting in the first place? How are they feeling? And can I help my dog feel better? Put those two pieces together and you'll have a much smoother, quicker transition from a reactive dog to a non-reactive dog.